Hey everybody, in today's video I want to mod out this toy gun controller. It looks like, I think the logo says it's a Doom gun trademark. It's spelled DOOMGUNN. Copyright 1995, Tax Systems Inc., patent pending. We got it at Goodwill like a million years ago. Made in China. But no, in all seriousness though, I'm going to open it up, or try to see what's going on the inside. Let's do this. Okay, so I have some little itty bitty screwdrivers. It looks like it's going to be using a Phillips head. And some of these are pretty well stripped out. Like that screw's completely gone. Okay. Well, that didn't take long, but I've given up on breaking into it. Oh. Before I get this thing, Randy's actually looking it up online to see if it has any kind of value, because I don't know if it works. It still clicks. There's a little button that makes a cool clicky noise, and then this little like toggly joystick. What's it look like? What?
The version I used to own is selling for $139.
Wow. But that's not this version?
No.
Okay. Do you want to go let the dogs out?
The version of the game.
Oh, version of the game? Okay. Do I have the clear to gut it?
Yeah.
Ah!
Closest I can see is $10.
I've got the clear to gut it, you guys. So I'm going to take my wire snips and I'm going to cut the plug off the butt. Well, that happened nice and neat. Nice and tidy. I'm gonna put...
Gotta let them back in now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You getting into a match?
Yep.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, so now what we're gonna be doing, please excuse my red puffy eyeball. I obviously rubbed my eye too much, apparently. My eyeball doesn't like having dirt in it. It's a lot less cumbersome without the cord hanging off of it. So what I'm... Well, yeah. You said I could. So I'm going to go through with this pure gold metallic colored paint. And I have this low tack... It's like a painter's or artist's masking tape for like taping paper down to a masonite board or like drawing board, and I'm going to use this to, some parts of this gun I would like to keep silver. And so what I'm going to do for that is I'm actually going to put this tape down. And what's really nice about it having a low tack is whenever I peel the tape off, it's not going to have sticky all over it. All over the gun, hopefully. I'm not using spray paint on the gun because, well, quite right, I couldn't find any. But also, I didn't want to risk it melting the plastic. So, like, I guess if you're going to do that, be sure to use a plastic safe spray paint. It'll say on the can whether it is or not. But yeah, so we can just kind of block off different parts of the gun to keep kind of nice and silver. Because for the most part, I want the gun to be like brass and silver. You know, kind of quintessential steampunk. center up nicely and is just about the perfect width. Yeah. So there's that, and then I guess I'll show you on some of these other ones, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and, I'm getting all the dust and dirt and stuff off of it. This thing was pretty old whenever we got it from Goodwill, and then it's basically been living in a drawer since then. So it does have quite a little bit of, dust and just build up on it. So now what I'm going to go through and do is get a nice big capful, of this gold that I'm already getting just all over the place. This is probably going to take a couple of layers. And I have this stiff bristled brush, that way it'll get down into all the little nooks and crannies. So I'm just going to do a complete layer of this. I'm going to do a complete layer of the, it's Folk Art brand metallic pure gold, number 660E. I'm going to cover the whole gun in that, and then I'll meet y'all back here shortly. So here you can see, I have done like a stipling, texture with the gold acrylic paint all over the gun, and this is like my base layer because the whole gun itself was like quite plastic and shiny, and other than like some detailing of like the grip on the handle, didn't have any texture to it whatsoever. So I taped over a couple of different parts to keep it nice and smooth and shiny, but the rest of it I've done this like stipling where I take the brush and it's loaded with paint and I just kind of like dab it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to expedite the process with a hairdryer, and then I am actually going to find my black spray paint and spray paint this whole gun because I want a much darker aesthetic with it. So we'll go and do that, and I'll meet y'all back here. Hey guys, check this out. This is how it turned out. This is the original silver color. And then I had gone through underneath, like on top of the silver, below the spray paint, and used this stuff. And then, like, I stippled it on with a stipling brush, and then I spray painted it using, like, Rust-Oleum, it still clicks, Rust-Oleum oiled bronze, I think was the color. Now, I wanted to show you guys, though, those pieces that I did with the tape over them. Let's try peeling that up and off, because I had a heck of a time over here where I tried using a hairdryer to expedite the drying time. which did not seem like the best idea in retrospect, and I ended up just having to wait all night anyways. But some of the sticky from the tape had stuck, yeah, like that. But that's the effect that that has. And it seems like it's almost more of a case of the spray paint made this sticky stick. So I'm just going through and kind of scraping that off with my finger. But it kind of jerks around. Like it kind of spreads around the sticky goop. But over here I have, unless I misplaced it, in a piece of oily blue jean. There it is. And I've found that the oil really helps kind of loosen up and dissipate the sticky. And so I'm just gonna use my fingernails. I tried using a craft knife yesterday, and that is not a good idea, because this plastic scratches pretty easily still. So there we go. That's pretty cool looking so far, I do think. Now, for some strategic scratching, I would like to bring out some silver details on these like mechanisms that are going on over here. Okay, and shaving with the craft knife does not seem like the best idea because it just takes off that bright, shiny finish anyways. So instead of going through the trouble to do that, I think I might actually just go through with some silver nail polish. So give me just a sec to rummage that out, and I'll be right back. So I have these two colors of silver nail polish. This one is Miracle Gel, and it's a little bit more glittery. And then this one is by Pure Ice, but I'm almost out of it. And it has a very fine-grained pigmentation. So just getting a little bit like this. And I really do feel like that this is like the fun part of this is the fun part. Kind of getting to go through and do little highlights and accents and different things like that on the different parts of the gun, to really kind of make it more unique. Like if any of y'all have ever done model painting, or like figure painting for like tabletop figurines for gaming, you can really get involved in making it pretty neat and detailed. Now I'm just gonna do one side of the gun and then let it dry for probably like 3 or 4 hours, like while I work on another project, and then I'm going to flip it over and work on the other side. So I am gonna work this side to completion though. just 3 little bands. Now, let's see, what else do I want to be? I also have my good friend with World of Strange donated to the cause and gave me some really cool glow-in-the-dark nail polish. So, and this seems to have a little bit thicker of a pigmentation even than the Pure Ice glow-in-the-dark that I've had a lot of in the past. But what I'm going to do is on all these little sunken recesses, I'm going to kind of layer in some clear nail polish, or not clear, glow-in-the-dark nail polish. Okay, so here we are with the nail polish. And I just kind of let it glob. And then I have this porcupine quill that's like my new favorite tool. And I'm just going to use that to kind of gently spread that around to where we want it. Because if you pull it up to like the edges, like how I'm doing, and then go through with like a big glob, it will fill itself in, like without you having to paint all the way up. I really hope that made sense. Yeah, so now you can see that. I'm gonna try really hard to not mess up these thinner, smaller ones. And just because of the way that surface tension works with liquids, if you can just get it to touch, then it'll pull itself down and in. I'm gonna prop the handle up on this because everything was kind of dripping the other way. And so now, just doing this next line. And I may end up going through and doing a second layer of this glow-in-the-dark polish, just to get, like, a little bit more of an effect from it. But we will see how that goes. Excuse me. I'm gonna do a glob right there. And I'm gonna do 3 little globs. Boop, boop, boop. Now, on those ones, I'm actually gonna have these glow-in-the-dark tracer rounds, right? That, for BBs, I'll get this phone out of the plant. And these actually, I love them. They're reasonably affordable, they glow really well, and I can bake them in polymer clay designs. And they also, like, they don't melt whenever they come into contact with, like, resin or epoxy or anything. It's just really nice and versatile, which, I mean, I feel like we could all use more of that in the crafting world. Okay. Yep, gonna have to move back to this one. Can you still see what I'm doing? Okay. So now from here, I'm actually going to be using Mod Podge doming resin. This stuff. Let me get my coffee out of the way and drink some. Okay, so with this resin, I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. You gotta make sure the tip is clear. Because more often than not, this dries out just sitting in the bottle. So I just take a needle tool and kind of cram it down into the tip. Oops. And open that up. So there that goes. And I'm just going to do a real small dot. Just like that in each of those little recesses. Ooh, and it looks like I've got another one over here. On the, not blade, but a barrel of the pistol. Put some in that. And then I'm just gonna set these little glowy balls. Oops. Into those little divots, just like that. I'm going to grab one more to do around the barrel. I'm actually just going to take a pinch out because there's no telling how many I'm going to do on the other side, and that way I don't have to keep getting my canister down. I mean, and if you don't have glow-in-the-dark BBs, I'm sure you could just get away with using some just more glow-in-the-dark nail polish. And the nice thing about these two is if you don't like them later on, I'm sure it'll be easy enough to pop them off. But yeah, so this looks like it's going to be a pretty good start. I'm going to go through with a little bit more silver polish, I think. And I'm going to accent these guys right here. But yeah, I'm really glad I went through and did the gold underlayer with the acrylic paint, because I feel like it really lent itself to a little bit of texturing, as well as this oiled bronze paint really did a good job of kind of pulling away in certain spots and really showcasing the contours and curves of the gun. I think that's all I'm going to do for now. And so I'm going to set this aside, y'all, and we'll come back to it in an hour or so when it's all good and dry. So we'll see you then. I'm working on the gun again. I decided against the little BBs because they don't sit in there right. So I have here an assortment of different gears that the light's reflecting on, as well as I have a tray here of all the odd and end little watch parts that may or may not be like completely unique, at least in the sense that I won't be able to just get more of them on a moment's notice. And I've got some cool little knobby parts for like that you would twist the that thing that on the top of a watch that sets the time, the little twisty knob. Got a bunch of those. So I'm going to use these to fill in some spots. I have some little interesting looking pins, like watch pins. Like stuff like this one. Just weird little bits and stuff. So I'm going to go through and add in some different things using Mod Podge doming resin. So the nail polish that we put in there has dried really well, as well as the nail polish that I topped off some of the different spots with. But now I'm going to use the Mod Podge again in these little spots to try to set some of the little knobby roundy things, like the little watch winders. I have no idea what this might be called. Like, what would you call this, guys? Because there has got to be an actual name for it, not just little windy watch thing. But yeah, that gives it a much cooler look. And so I'm going to keep going through. And putting these little pieces in all these spots where there would have been, or where there is actually a screw. I'm dropping my stuff. But I'm going to kind of cram this in there. It's not perfect, but it's in. And then I also have some different gear pieces. This is something that I'm going to go through using the Mod Podge as the glue. And just kind of smash, dab that down. And then I specifically wanted some gears and stuff over here on this spot because on the other side, that's where all this like textured writing and things are. So I'm gonna go through and just start fleshing out the details on this, and then we'll come back and talk about it. it's all finished. Check that out. I am really pleased with the effect that basically spray painting and gluing a bunch of gears on and some glow-in-the-dark BBs and nail polish. They're in the tip. Pew, pew. It's the underside. I'm gonna get a lot of pictures in the daylight. I took a couple of days on this one to let it dry, but I'm really pleased that I did do the gold acrylic underlayer, because the camera's not picking up on it so well, but in some of those spots where the oiled bronze spray paint kind of pulled away from, it gave a really nice brassy underpainting, like undercoat. Very pleased though. But yeah, I think this was a really successful basic first mod. Used a lot of Mod Podge. And it still clicks, and then the trigger still articulates, and it's even got a little cute thing there and a little, oof. What do y'all think I should mod out next? Actually, I think I'm going to make a holster for this. I personally am not going to keep this one. I'm going to put it up for sale, probably in our booth at VisionCon in Branson, Missouri, coming up next month. Unless somebody wants to buy it before then. Pew, pew. But if it doesn't sell, if one of y'all didn't buy it, even the little side button here, I don't know what it did in the video game. It might have been like a reload button or something maybe, but can you hear that? Ah.
I believe it was a cycle button, or
cycle? Oh, Randy says it's what cycled through the different weapons. I believe. I don't know what it is. I just know the sound it makes when it kills the bad guys. Pew, pew. When it kills me. Sorry, Tropic Thunder quotes. But yeah, I'm gonna make a holster for it. So, but yeah, I do want to know what mods y'all think I should do in the future. I have this old clarinet that I really want to mod out, but Randy doesn't want me to, because he's like, you're not gonna ruin a perfectly good clarinet, and I'm like, I'm not gonna ruin it, but that remains to be seen. But and I also have one of my old flutes, but I also might go through and do up, I have a bunch of these like kind of leaky tin whistles that I think I might mod with something. What? His aliens?
So why can't you just leave it alone?
Never! But yeah, so thanks you guys for watching this video. It's not as much of a tutorial. Stop laughing. Aliens? It's not as much of a tutorial as I would have liked, but quite frankly, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was like, hey guys, this is but I do hope that it was informative. If y'all have any tips or tricks or things that you'd like to discuss, I'd love to hear them. But yeah, I'll leave y'all to it. If you guys want to support my different free tutorials and videos like this, both in the workshop as well as out in the garden, please check out the link for Patreon down below. I do currently it's only monthly, but it's about to be twice a month Fairy House giveaway. This one over here, you can see in the background. This one is January's prize. Ooh, so cute and pretty. And for just $1, you can put your name in the hat to win it, which is cool. And also, I have larger prizes on there as well. We have a couple of folks who do $10 and like $30. You know who you are. Pledges, and they get like every month. They chose, like, because I asked them, like, do you want something that I made, or do you want stuff that you can make stuff out of? And, hey, that's my coffee. And both of them opted, at least this month, for kits. So they get just stuff that, so you can, you know, if you don't have the tools and materials to make what I'm doing here in the YouTube videos, I might send them to you. Which is nice, because that way you'll be specifically using what's used in the video. But I'm going to let you guys go now, though, and I'm going to drink my coffee and play with my polymer clay and just have a very nice evening. I hope y'all have a lovely day, and I'll see y'all next time.